Hello and welcome to the show. We've got a lovely new car for you this week. I bet you can't guess what it is. It's over my shoulder, but I'm not going to move aside and let you see it. So, hold on, wait up, and watch out for this week's episode of Motormouth. I'm Rashid Raza. Hang on for the fun. On Motormouth this week, apart from the latest bargain from the German folks, we have a possible solution for the rising air ticket prices and a local car servicing garage offering an impressive buffet of services. And an inside look at what we don't show you on the car test. So this week what we have for you, boys and girls, on Motormouth is the Volkswagen Jetta. Yes, it's a very, very nice car. And it's a smaller car, so it's actually more accessible than the Passat, which is Volkswagen's other offering on the roads these days, until the Touareg comes out. Let me tell you about this. This is typical of the new European design school, which says, all right, make a big radiator grille in the front, giving that whole sporty feel, even though the car necessarily doesn't follow up on it. They've done that very nicely here on this mid-size car, and it's looking very nice, especially with the chrome surrounds on all the segments and everything. It gives a very plush, opulent feel, but that pales in comparison to the headlights, which are very nice indeed. Of course, you've got the chrome surrounds here as well, and of course, the halogen lamps giving that lovely projector beam, but the details that these car manufacturers get into these days is awesome. Look at the little Volkswagen symbol on the headlight bulb guard itself. It's awesome. I love that little detail. Makes you think of the bat signal. I can't figure out if it'll actually throw a Volkswagen symbol, but it should. It'll be very cool. Now, moving on from there, let's not get too excited. Another very cool feature are the tires on this car. 205/55 R16s. In English, that means you've got a low profile, surprisingly low profile. This is almost like a sports car profile, which makes you wonder, well, this car was built more for maybe a sporty feel than a luxury feel, because luxury cars tend to have fatter tires to absorb the bumps. This one's gone for slim, low profile, very nice looking tires, and the grip itself is spectacular. You've got all sorts of weather channels here. You've got your dry tarmac tire, you've got your rain channel as well. And a nice little checkered flag from the Continental people telling you this is a sporty little tire. I like the alloys, very nice. Big brake calipers, very nice again. And little Volkswagen symbols wherever you look. Also, the side view mirrors having this lovely indicator. All little cues taken from the luxury cars so that people like you and me who buy the mid-segment cars don't feel completely left out. Along the side, it's all very plain, very basic over here. Plain Jetta, plain, jet plane. Moving on. The lights at the back, very nice indeed. I love the little LEDs that they put over here. All European cars are coming with LEDs now. Japanese are catching up quickly. This is the way to go. I've explained already why. All right. Now, speaking of ways to go, you can take a car, you can take a plane, but you can only take these planes if you're really, really small. So, go check out our aero modeling segment. When you come back, we'll get into the inside of this car, and that's where all the action really is. So hurry back.
Well, this is a group of like-minded people who enjoy aviation as such, right? If we can't get into flying real planes, this is the second most best thing that can be done about it. It brings out your passion about aviation. Plus, it teaches you a lot about how the planes fly, why do they behave in a particular way, how you control them. We've been flying from this field for last almost 4.5 years. You always start with the trainer. Trainers are generally high wing. They are much more easy to control, much more stable in the air, so that initially you get a good feel of the aircraft. And as gradually your reflexes keep on improving, you switch on to the low-winger planes. Then you have the low-winger trainer planes, where you, on those low-winger planes, you can do aerobatic maneuvers to a certain extent. And then you go on to the highly advanced planes. use methanol for engine. These are like any two-stroke engines. You know, we have four-stroke engines also. Then we have regular petrol engines also available in this. The bigger size engines are all petrol engines. The methanol along with the castor oil is used as a fuel. Castor oil is used for lubricating the engine. Like in any two-stroke engine for a motorcycle or something, you require a lubricating oil. The castor oil is used here as a lubricating oil, and methanol gives you the power. To start with, I mean, I would put the safe estimate to be about 25,000 rupees, you know. That will cover your transmitter, radio, your engine, your aeroplane. I mean, to start with everything, I mean, you can take off, I mean, start off with your own equipment in about 25,000 rupees, and then probably sky's the limit. Then there's upwards, there's no limit at all. Initial expenses there, if you are careful, if you really don't break your plane, initially everybody does. Once you have kind of stabilized, and once you started flying regularly, then it's not a very expensive hobby. I mean, as long as you don't break your plane, it's not an expensive hobby. Come and see it for yourself live. That's all I mean, come and see the action here. That's all I would like to say. I mean, probably seeing it on TV and you might not really get the feel of it. Once you stand on the field, you hear the engine noises, you hear the engine sounds, and you see the planes flying 5 feet above the ground and then climbing up vertically. I mean, that's the fun. That's the fun.
On the inside of this car, let's first focus on this wonderful dashboard. It's really got a lovely lighting system. These beautiful purpley blue lights come on with lots of little hidden icons and stuff like that. We'll get into those at a later date, but the central screen over there really is a plethora of information over there. It starts off by telling me that my door's open. Not only that the door's open, it tells you which door is open, which is very useful indeed. You shut that, and it tells me I've got 460 kilometers to go before I need to refuel the car, which is a lot. I've done 49 kilometers. This trip has been 9.7 kilometers, and it tells you which gear you're in at the moment. Move on from there by controlling it by the steering wheel, and it tells you that I'm doing 20.7 liters per 100 kilometers, which is really not that good, but I am taking into account the fact that we're sitting in idling with the AC on, so that does use up a lot of fuel. Otherwise, it's going to give me an average of almost exactly 5 kilometers per liter. Not good. So move up from there, it's using 1.3 liters per hour on idle. And I've been driving for 59 minutes, so I should be tired. It goes on to give you a speed warning setting, which you can set, saying, all right, I don't want to exceed 80, 90 kilometers per hour, so I will set the speed warning for 80. So I set the speed warning for 80, and a little bell will go off at that point. On the central console over here, you've got your system controller. You've got a 6 CD changer, which plays MP3s, and it's all in dash over here. You just load in 6 CDs over here. MP3 is useful because, you know, we all want our MP3 CDs. You can select your radio from here, and you go into the menu where you set your sound settings as you like it. There are 10 speakers in this car, so there's a lot of setting that you'll be going into at that point in time. Dual AC controls means that individuals are just as happy as the driver over here, which is nice. So that wraps it up. We'll get into more detail. We'll get into the green of the leather of this car when you come back. But first, go check out Car IQ, where we will depress me with stuff you should know but don't.
It's got something to do with automobiles, obviously the wagon bit in it, but I'm not really sure what it means otherwise.
Volkswagen. A good brand German car.
Automobile question? Yeah. I don't know anything about automobile. Volkswagen, no idea at all.
Well, it's a luxury car. It's a German luxury car.
I don't have an idea about that. How can I say this?
Volkswagen, essentially one of the better German brands of cars that you get around here.
Volkswagen, गाड़ी का नाम
Oh, what it means? Oh no, I don't know. Something car. Volks. I don't know German.
Fox तो लोमड़ी को कहते हैं.
Come on, you tell me.
Oh, it means it's car of the people.
A wagon meant for ordinary people, for folks.
Volkswagen is people's car.
Volks meaning people and wagon meaning car.
Right or wrong?
I'm very rarely in the back seat of a car, but I gotta tell you, despite the fact that this is not an out-and-out luxury car, there's luxury pretty much everywhere you look, right down to the soft, genuine leather seats over here, to the split AC vent over here, which is like adjustable. It doesn't actually give you a breeze so much as a soft, general coolness in this area. There are airbags everywhere, like the airbags on the B pillar over here, and even on the C pillar. Now this is very unusual. Normally the backseat people don't really deserve an airbag apparently, because they're surrounded by soft stuff. So, but no, we get them, because this car actually has a total of 8 airbags, and that's a lot for a mid-segment car. You've got a lovely little drinks holder over here which pops out. You can put your drink can over here and, you know, close this, pull this down, it does this little lever number over here, and you've got your central armrest. Now this again, not something that's unusual. In fact, most cars now would come with this being lifted up and having a little compartment in there. This doesn't have that. You have your boot access from here instead. So if the body you're carrying over there, he's just unconscious, he wakes up, you hit him again. Yeah, let's not get into that. That's between you and your criminal activities. I don't want to know. Okay, on the back you've got lovely adjustable headrests over here. And up here, now this is unusual. You've got these lovely little lights for the cabin over here. Individual reading lights, which are very cool indeed. So you're wafting home, you want to read the Wall Street Journal or whatever it is you read. If you're reading on your way home, it's already too late, dude. The information is old. No sunroof, which is unusual and a little disappointing. I would have expected a sunroof. But there are other little things in here. For example, a hidden away ashtray over here with a cover so that the ash doesn't come up on you. Only one side has that though, which tells you that only one person in the back seat can smoke at a time. Whatever. The buttons for the rear window, although it is automatic, the plastic is ridiculously cheap. It feels sharp-edged, it feels small and fragile. So let's not discuss that any further. There are speakers over here as well, because like I told you earlier, there are a lot of them in this car. 10, count them, 10. Totally unnecessary little carbon fiber filling over here. It looks nice to someone like me. Someone else would be like, why is this funny jetty thing in here? Never mind. Speaking of jetty things, let's go take a break, and there'll be lots more coming up at the other end of that. So don't go anywhere. Enjoy your break. Welcome back. I hope you had a nice break. Now, what we're doing is we're driving in the Jetta 1.9 TDI. For those of you who don't know, TDI stands for Turbo Diesel Injection, which means that it's a whopping big engine putting out a lot of torque. In this case, it's well over 100 PS of torque, which is very decent for a small 1.9 TDS engine like this. Now, how does it feel like to drive? Well, the suspension is firm, but just short of being hard, which is a very fine balance indeed to strike. We're actually driving through some almost rural roads here, but yet it just soaks up the bumps, saying, yeah, it's all right, it's not a very nice road, but that's okay, I will cushion your bum just as much as I have to. Okay, the power response from the engine is a little slug. What happens is that you press the accelerator and there's a tiny little moment while the engine gathers itself, and then it starts letting you have the power. Its ground clearance is not so good. So when you go over speed breakers like this one, you're constantly scared that you might suddenly feel that horrible, very expensive scraping sound underneath. Fortunately, it didn't happen in this case, because it's not my car. Okay, the steering wheel has a lovely responsive feel. It's giving me constant feedback from the road. Even though there's no actual suspension bang or travel which is hitting the bottom of the car, you're still getting a very good idea of what the road surface is like through this very responsive steering wheel. The turning circle, as we are about to find out, is very good. Yeah, it's a very tight turning circle indeed, which means that in our Delhi congested traffic, this car will do very well. It'll do all the little U-turns you need to do without having to stop and reverse and carry on again. It's got different modes. For example, I can put the car in sport mode and see what happens. And suddenly the revs are building up, and yes, that's better. Nice response from that engine. Suddenly you can feel the turbo kicking in at about 2000 RPM, which is where it should happen. The Skoda, for example, is another 1.9 TDI, and there the turbo kicks in at about 2800 RPM, so there's a lot more waiting time before you actually get the response of the engine. Here, it's much faster. It's at 2000 RPM, so you get a lot more fun very quickly. On a general basis, this car feels firm, in control, and it feels a lot smaller, which is a very, very good thing when you're driving a relatively mid-sized car. You want to feel that it's small and compact and all in the palm of your hand. So if you can get that feeling from a car, that means that its suspension and its engine setup is spot on. So yeah, good job, Jetta. This car is smooth, it's fun, and yet it's refined. It doesn't get you tired. It's not a sports car by any stretch of the imagination, but you can have fun with it. It's quite nice. Why don't you go and check out our next story? I'm going to play a little bit more. More on the Jetta when you come back.
मैं सिकंदर एवन कार केयर से। ये मेरा वर्कशॉप 2004 दिसंबर से मैं इसको ऑपरेट कर रहा हूँ और अब मुझको यहाँ पर तकरीबन 3.5 साल हो गए। और ये मेरा एक यहाँ पर जब से मैंने 2004 दिसंबर से ये ऑपरेट करा है, तो मेरा एक वो था कि जितनी भी दिल्ली के अंदर गाड़ियां हैं उनको एक अच्छी सर्विस दे सकूं और एक चीप सर्विस दे सकूं। एक ही प्लेटफॉर्म पे मैंने एक पैकेज लॉन्च करा यहीं पर 2004 दिसंबर से ही। उसके अंदर पैकेज के अंदर मैं बॉडी वॉश, व्हील अलाइनमेंट, व्हील बैलेंसिंग, पॉल्यूशन सर्टिफिकेट और लाइट चेकअप, ब्रेक चेकअप और आपका जितना भी उसके अंदर ऑयल चेंज है, गियर ऑयल चेंज है, कूलेंट चेंज होगा, तो मुझको सिर्फ कस्टमर को कॉस्ट देनी है इंजन ऑयल, गियर ऑयल, कूलेंट एंड पार्ट्स एंड ल्यूब ऑयल्स का, और कोई उसको चार्ज नहीं देना। ओनली 390 का उसको मुझे चार्ज देना है और 390 में पूरी अपना सर्विसेज पूरा का पूरा पैकेज करा लेना है। दरअसल इंजन वॉश का एक वो होता है, इंजन वॉश जब भी गाड़ी सर्विसिंग के लिए आता है तो इंजन पे काफी डस्ट और काफी मट्टी जमा हुआ होता है। उसको मैं पहले क्या करता हूँ, एक केमिकल्स होते हैं उससे उसके ऊपर छिड़का जाता है इंजन के ऊपर पूरा वॉश करने से पहले। जब वो छिड़के 5 मिनट बाद वो पूरा उसका डस्ट जो है फूल जाता है तो उसको फिर हम वॉश करते हैं। इंजन वॉश करना कंप्लीटली उसी को कहते हैं कि इंजन वॉश। इंटीरियर के अंदर हम लोग पूरा डैशबोर्ड, आपका अंदर का जितना भी डस्ट है उसके अंदर पूरा डस्ट से क्लीन करते हैं, एयर से वैक्यूम नहीं करते हैं, एयर से डस्ट क्लीन करते हैं। अंदर के जो कारपेट मैट्स हैं, कस्टमर बोलते हैं कि आप उसको भी वॉश करिए तो हम उनके कस्टमर की चॉइस के ऊपर उनको भी वॉश करते हैं। अगर रबड़ मैट्स हैं तो उनको वॉश रेगुलरली करते हैं। और आउटर में हम पूरा बॉडी वॉश करते हैं, टायर पॉलिश करते हैं, बम्पर पॉलिश करते हैं। ऐसा कुछ सर्विस स्टेशन हैं जो पेट्रोल पंप्स में उनके अलाइनमेंट नहीं लगा हुआ, वॉशिंग का नहीं है, इंजन ऑयल चेंज नहीं होता, तो वो एक अलग अलग जगह पर अलग अलग सर्विस कराते हैं। लेकिन मेरा एक ही प्लेटफॉर्म पे मैं सारी सर्विस दे रहा हूँ, उस वजह से मुझको बेनिफिट भी हो रहा है क्योंकि कस्टमर का टाइम भी बच रहा है और मेरे को भी एक ही प्लेटफॉर्म पे सारा मैं उसको सर्विस प्रोवाइड कर पा रहा हूँ। जो भी सुनता है उसको एक अचंबा लगता है कि ये जो इन्होंने पंपलेट पे ये 12 के 12 चीजें लिख दी, ये करते भी हैं या नहीं करते। ऐसा कुछ नहीं है। मेरे यहाँ 2 घंटे हर गाड़ी के अंदर 2 से 2.5 घंटा लगता है। वो बैठ के देख सकता है कि 1 by 1 क्या क्या काम हो रहा है।
And there you have it, the Volkswagen Jetta. Newly arrived on our shores, and it's sure to be a great, great hit. Right from the tip of its little bat signal headlamps, which flash Volkswagen, lots of little Germans come running up saying, yes, you wanted me, how can I help? Right to the end of its taillight LED clusters, which are very nice indeed, and the single reverse lamp, which is a little weird. It's got its little bendy windshield wipers. It's got wonderful little gadgets like under-seat drawers, for example. Little details that show that when the Germans make a car, they make it very well indeed, and they'll think of lots of little ways to make your drive a little bit more enjoyable. Will this car do well here? Well, probably. It is in the mid-segment, right up there with the Skoda Laura and a Honda Civic, etc., etc. So it does have tough competition, but I think it'll do well, and it deserves to. It's a good car, and you know what? I might even think of getting myself one day. So, there you go. It'll be jetting onto your roads very soon, and that's all the bad jokes I can think of when it comes to this car. Go watch Mom, where we think of other bad things to say about you people when you break the law. On Mild and Misdemeanor this week, we examine a strange weather-linked phenomenon. It would seem that as the humidity levels rise, IQs start to fall. Look at this mess. What is it about our citizens of Delhi's streets and stop lines? Take this scene here. The scooters, cyclists, and cars in front of the line could just as easily have been behind it, right? Yeah, right. Then someone might have got ahead of them, and then what would happen to the world and civilization as we know it? Actually, not very much, but that won't stop us. Regardless of the fact that it causes jams and puts us in danger, we have the constitutional right to be royal idiots. On that note, we'd like to wrap up this week by giving you a behind-the-scenes look at how much professionalism goes into our serious, informed motor journalism. Please do write into metronation@ndtv.com. Until next week, thanks for watching. Goodbye. Hello and welcome to the show. We've got a wonderful new car lined up, and thank you for watching Russian TV. It takes a lot to come up with a good car show. For example, focus and determination. Ooh, pretty birdie. One of the first requirements of being an excellent driver is perfect vision. Now, let me tell you.